Welcome to Canyon Lake Unfiltered, where we talk about what's really going on around the lake. No fluff, no filters. From local stories and community issues to the people that make Canyon Lake what it is. This is real talk from right here at home.
Welcome back to Canyon Lake Unfiltered, where we talk about what's really going on around the lake and the people who make this community what it is and the stories you won't hear anywhere else. Today's guest is Gordon Rhoades, a longtime auctioneer with over 40 years in the business, musician, songwriter, and Canyon Lake local with some incredible stories. We're talking auction life, music, small town Texas, Ford commercials, politics, community, and probably a few things we didn't plan on talking about. So Gordon, welcome to Canyon Lake Unfiltered. We're happy to have you.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right. Yeah, like I said, I've talking to you a couple of times. I think we're going to have a great conversation.
Absolutely.
But for people who don't know you yet, who is Gordon Rhoades?
Well, I am a 63-year-old fellow that loves living out here in Spring Branch, Canyon Lake area. Married to a beautiful redhead. Her name is Lee. We have 5 children. We have 7 grandchildren.
Awesome.
I've been an auctioneer for 41 years. Also have done real estate. I had the appraisal license where I had to appraise a lot of equipment with, and had to go to court a few times to back up my findings, which always came out on top. Let's see what else I do. I did a little stand-up back in the 90s. I used to go to it was called the Lap Stop, and then the Comedy Club bought them out, and I would did stand up there and for the little amateur night, and it's a 5-minute deal. You do about 6-8 jokes, and the guy liked me so much. He said, "I want you coming back every week."
Awesome.
And then I ventured out, and I went to San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas, and then they had a big contest one year that. Each week, for 6 weeks, there's 8 to 15 people, and you got to get in there, and you got your 5 minutes of fun, and then they had this sound meter that put over your head, their hand, and whoever I got picked that week I did it, and you go back to 6 weeks, and one person was actually going to get a contract and go out to Los Angeles.
Wow.
But I had some health issues, and I had to step down. I colon, those kind of areas, so pain in the butt, but I got through it. Everything was fine on that end, but it really brought me down a little bit because I thought, well, hey, I could be the next Robin Williams or something. But I'm still glad. I'm happy. I love auctioneering. So.
Well, you've had some amazing experiences. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So you've been an auctioneer for over 40 years. How does someone even get into that business?
Well, in my case, my father was an auctioneer. He's kind of like me. He was a policeman in Austin and was there long enough to become a detective. He was a barber. He was a car dealer. He bought and sold pre-owned cars. He ran for sheriff in Burnett County. Got in a runoff with the sheriff that had been there forever. And just almost made it, which I'm glad he didn't, because then he got into the auction business. And I think I was about 11 or 12 when he got it, and I just loved it so much. I'd go with him on weekend auctions, and and it just advanced from there. So I had a little heads up. I had the advantage of my father getting into it, learning it, and I just followed him around, and I loved it. I mean, I would work on weekends at these auctions, holding up items and taking bids as a ring man.
Well, you definitely have the voice for it, that's for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah. So did you always knew that's what you wanted to do, or did you have another path in mind?
No, actually, like I said, when I hit 12, I started going on weekends. I loved it. And I mean, it went all the way from, working the weekend sales to being a ring man, holding up items, to auctioneering. My dad had a little PA system that I would practice every day out there. I'd be on my back porch, and I was just, hey, 75, go around 75, and I'd be selling the picnic table and everything around, and just trying to keep going, and until I would be able later on to get my break.
Right. So what was your very first auction where you were actually an auctioneer like?
Oh, let's see. The first one. Well, what I did is when I turned 16, I went to auction school. It was a 2-week school in Plainview, Texas. We started at 7 in the morning, go till 11 o'clock at night, learning our numbers. And you think you know how to count, but you don't. You 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2 and a half, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15, 17, 20. I mean, you learn all that over and over, and then you're filling words and everything. So when I got all that together and mastered it, I went and worked a night sale in Austin. It was called Metro Auto Auction. And I got to get up there for my I was a little nervous, I won't lie. A little nervous. I got up there, and it, it was exhilarating. I mean, all of a sudden I'm up there and I'm selling and I'm sold and working, and I said, "Oh yeah, yeah." That went to the blood for sure.
I expect, even though it's a job, and you have a you have a goal while you're an auctioneer, but I expect you probably get the same high that you do as like a entertainer. You know, once you get through a successful auction, you're probably like, yeah, I did all right, and people liked it.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
This is adrenaline rush for sure.
Yeah. So, what's the weirdest thing you've ever auctioned?
Weirdest. Well, we did an estate sale, and there's these urns with people's ashes in it. I'll go ahead and sell them. And I thought, well, nobody's going to buy them. Somebody bought them. I'm like, you got to be kidding. There was an ant farm, a live ant farm that we sold too, that I thought was kind of weird as well. And then there would be a few other things. We did find one of the vampire killer kits. We auctioned that off. It had the steak and the garlic and all this.
Wow.
Well, if he just bought it as, if he really believed in that stuff, or the guy that we were selling for, he had passed away, and this was his son. We were auctioning off all his father's stuff. But yeah, there's some weird stuff that you'll see on occasion.
I can imagine, especially during the estate sales, that
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you probably find some strange stuff.
Oh yes.
So, I mean, can you turn it on and off? I mean, can you turn that auctioneer voice on and off anytime, or is it just, you have to warm up? Let's put it that way.
It's like anything else. At first, I noticed the first 4 or 5 cars I'd be selling, you weren't greased up enough. After you sell 4 or 5 cars, then you kind of get in the rhythm, like anything else. It's kind of like you start out cold. And I know a lot of auctioneers, what they do is on their way to the auction, they'll auction off while they're driving the car. Hey, 709, 709, and that way they kind of warm themselves up. By the time they get there, the voice is ready to go.
Yeah. Well, do you mind giving us a little demonstration, just a few seconds?
Sure.
All right.
Lot number 1, we got a 2013 Ford F-150 pickup. We're sort of bidding $5,000, 5,000, 2.5, 550, 2.5, 55, 55, 7.5, 7.5 now, $6,000, 2.5, 62.5. Come on, my friend, do it again, 2.5 now, 5, 65, 7.5, 7.5 now, 7 grand. What do you think? Yes or no? Gotta go. 7,000, no, 7. So 67, 50, buyer number 318. Thank you, sir. Next one.
Wow.
And I'll do that. It's like this past week, I had 140 cars Wednesday in Manheim and San Antonio, and about 100 on Thursday at Alliance. And it's about 20 seconds a car that you're selling them. You just keep it rolling. Don't give them a lot of time to think.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. That's an amazing talent. So, what makes a great auctioneer?
A great auctioneer, if one is to learn your setting, and learn your buyers, get to know your buyers, get to know your sellers, and know your product. Know what you're selling. If you jump up there and you're going to be a bid caller, you're going to be a bid caller. You're not going to be an auctioneer. An auctioneer knows their buyer, their seller. They know what they're selling. I know vehicles. It's like, I'm looking at that truck right there. That truck's worth between $4,000 or $5,000, or that one's worth $28,000 to $30,000. You've got to know what you're selling. And same way we had a different place we'd go. A good example is with my dad had found a candy factory up in East Texas. Well, first of all, you don't know anything about it, so you do your homework, you do your research. And luckily, there was a man there that was able to help kind of walk through and say, "Oh, this machine does this does it." So that way, when you're there on Saturday morning and open up your announcements, you could tell them what that machine is and what it does, and it brings more money for each other if you know what you're doing and what it is.
So, what's the psychology behind auctions that most people don't understand?
That's a lot of it. I reiterate on the fact of knowing your people. Get down there and talk to them before the sale starts. Talk. What are you here for? What are you buying? What are you looking for today? Well, I'm here to buy vehicles, or I'm here to buy farm equipment, or I'm here to get oil equipment. You get to know them by name. And you wouldn't believe, most of the time you're up there with a microphone in your hand and you call them out. Mr. Johnson, hey, look, you know you need this. And he'll kind of look, and everybody turns to look at him and he'll, well, of course I do. And the hand goes up, and there goes the money, honey.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
All about the money.
Absolutely.
So, what's the most expensive item that you've sold?
Oh, I mean, there's been quite a few, like Rolex watches, the kind of things are about pretty good money, but probably a lot of the heavy equipment, like those huge dozers doing 250 and 300,000.
Wow.
A lot of that, that'll add up quick. I mean, when you get between 5 and 10% commission, and it's the more you make for them, the more you make for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Have you ever had an auction completely go off the rails?
Absolutely. Absolutely. A good example was when we were doing an outdoor sale in Marble Falls. It was a bank sale, and there's a lot of equipment and cars and, a lot of little stuff. And it was about 78 degrees and not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful day. Perfect day for an auction. Well, next thing you know, these clouds roll in. It's getting windy up, 35, 40 mile an hour winds. The temperature goes from 78 to 38, and then here comes the rain. That ended that one quick. Everybody runs to their cars and takes off, and of course we're out there freezing to death. Didn't have any coats. Didn't think it was going to happen. I mean, this is way before cell phones and that kind of thing. This was probably back in, I would say about 90, 91. You just listen to your local weather, and it was flip a coin. Another time we had a man actually had a heart attack.
Oh wow!
That'll stop a sale. Another fellow had a seizure where he had epilepsy or something.
Yeah.
So a few things like that will kind of but mainly that storm with that rain definitely put a damper on our auction.
Have you ever had a buyer instantly regret winning a bid?
Oh, many times. A good example is I was doing a car auction for Leaf Johnson Ford, and these two buyers that were over in Oak Hill area, and he was on the east side of 71. He's on the west side, so they're kind of competitors. Well, there's a nice Ford. I don't know if there's a Chevrolet truck, a Z71 or something that came in, and it was a $14,000 truck. Well, I came up on 13 grand, and these two lock horns and looking at each other and just waving their hands, and it goes to 17.9, and the guy back didn't hit 18. I went, so, and that buyer walked up to me. He goes, man, I wanted him at 18. I was going to stick it on him. He said, yeah, I'm stuck with 17.9. I've got all my profits gone. I'm going to sell it and maybe break out, maybe lose 500. So they play those games against each other, trying to instead of, you buy that one and I'll buy that one. No. When it comes to the car business, the car games, those guys are greedy. No, I want them all.
Yep, I can imagine.
You're going to pay.
Not about the profit. Sometimes it's about just winning the auction.
Winning the deal.
Yeah. So what's harder, keeping the energy up or reading the crowd?
Well, I have to keeping the energy up for sure. I mean, you had a bad night, didn't sleep well the night before or something, or you had a long drive and you just so you've got to keep it up. You've got to build at it, keep it up. I mean, because I read the crowd pretty quick. I get up there and I look at it, I pretty well know. I mean, doing it for 41 years, I pretty well can know what kind of crowd I'm going to have that day. But it's, I'm happy even though I'm tired, I won't go to bed, but you've got to put on the smiley face and the show must go on.
Yeah, that's true. Well, how about live auctions? Are they disappearing because of the internet? I mean, you've got eBay, you've got other live auction places.
Absolutely.
Are they disappearing?
They are. There's a lot. As a matter of fact, I know a good friend of mine in Odom, Texas. He used to have a live auction. It was the first Saturday of every month. I enjoyed going to it. I take a lot of stuff down there, and my brother was his ring man, and I went just to sit in the crowd and be on the other side of it. And enjoy it. I'd sell some items, buy some stuff. I'd buy some silver and gold and maybe buy something that I didn't need, but it was just fun. And he cut that out and went straight to online now. And a lot of guys are doing that. It cuts out your overhead, cuts out your liability on someone getting hurt on your property and those kind of things. But it just takes away. And I love an auction. I mean, it's like going to the carnival. I mean, I used to love those Saturday weekend auctions. It's just a blast. And a lot of dealers, they now buy cars online. They'll either set at their office, set at their home, and buy on the computer, not even go to the auctions anymore. But
Right.
there's a lot of old school guys that they want hands on. They want to touch that vehicle. They want to know what the inside looks and smells like, and I like that. I wish it was still that way. But there's a lot of companies that they're even trying to do it with auctioneers. About 2 years ago, they tried this up in Dallas where they had a lane where the car would come in and the computer would say lot 1, 2020 Ford F-150, starting the bid at 10, 250. And it would take 10, 15 minutes just to go through one car. A buyer from Austin, he was up there and he said, I had to go. I had about 8 more vehicles I wanted to buy on my list, but I had to go catch a plane and fly back to Austin. He goes, when they did that, I was not happy. And the next week it was gone. Like,
Yeah.
yay.
I can imagine it's not the same. I've been to a couple auctions, and you're right. They're fun. They're enjoyable. If you've got a good auctioneer,
Oh,
they make it interesting. So
absolutely.
yeah. So have you ever had a moment where you thought, I can't believe this is happening right now?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
On a positive and negative kind of way where I'm looking at a $28,000 vehicle and also we're at 36.5 and I'm like, what in the world? What are y'all doing? And there's other times like I've got a $10,000 car and we're at 2,800. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? I'll buy that myself because when you're an auctioneer, you're the neutral guy. You're the broker bringing the buyer and seller together. So we cannot bid. That is one of the state laws that we live under, which I would do anyway because I don't think that's fair. That's not ethical. I mean, I want people to trust me, know that when I go to Gordon Rhoades auction, I know that I'm going to be treated well and that I'll be treated fair. And I live by that.
Do they have like minimum bids that they'll accept? It's like this car, I'll only take minimum $2,000 or something.
Yeah, there are reserves on some of them. A lot of them, as is, we have absolute sales. I did one last week in Hutto, and we had 35 vehicles, from pickups to vans to small cars, big car, and there were 35 of them, and it's absolute. If it brings $1, it sells for $1. And then
Wow.
the guy, I'm like going, "Well, you sure you want to do this?" He goes, "Oh, yeah." And when he was done, I got through with him. I said, "Well, how's your pulse?" He said, "Perfect." He said, "Someone went too cheap, someone went way more than I expected, and it all averaged out, and I'm tickled to death." So it was.
What did the cheapest one go for, just out of curiosity?
The cheapest car went for $200.
Really?
Yeah, I think the most expensive did about 22,000.
Was the $200 car, was it worth a lot more, or?
It would part out probably for about $650. I mean, it was running and driving. It wasn't smoking. I mean, so, and the tires, the rubber looked really good. So I mean, the guy gave $200 for it. I mean, he can note that little car out or cash it out. He can double, triple, quadruple his money for sure.
So somebody made a good deal on that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for the auction information. That's awesome. That's interesting.
Absolutely.
I've never really knew an auctioneer, so now I can say I know an auctioneer.
There you go. Put it on your resume.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that I gotta hear about is I know you did some commercials for Ford. How did you end up doing those commercials?
Well, I did 4 commercials for them, and the way it worked out is there was a general manager at Lee Johnson Ford on Coney Lane there in Austin. And Ford reached out to a lot of the new car stores in the Texas area. I think it also did New Mexico, Arizona, Louisiana, that group. And they were looking for somebody that they thought would be good in commercial, be good on the camera. And this GM gave the Ford my name and phone number, and they sent it out to whoever out in Los Angeles does their commercials for them. And the lady called me and she said, "Can you?" We did a little interview on the phone, and I sent her pictures and some videos. And then about a week later, she called back. She says, "Well, congratulations, you're one of 200 in the running." I went, "Wow." I will hear from them again. And my wife, "Oh, yes, you will." She's right. After a little, came back and they said, "Well, we need you to be in Dripping Springs at our little studio." They'd flown in there and brought in a huge crew. I mean, it's unbelievable. But when they said, okay, well, we have we narrowed it down. I think there was like 10 of us there, and then we did a mock commercial. And he said, I've narrowed down to 4. He said, I want these 2 ladies, this gentleman, and Gordon. The 4 of y'all are going to do it. The rest of y'all, thank you very much. Here's you some Shell gas cards. Thank you for your time. And off they went. And he goes, we're doing 4 commercials. They're 30-second commercials. He said, I'm going to do one with Gordon and the 2 ladies. I'm going to do one with Gordon, 2 ladies, and the gentleman. And then I'm doing the last 2 commercials just with Gordon. He was really impressed with what I had to say and what I did. So, it was.
Well, like I said before, you definitely have the voice, and you got the look. I mean, when I think of Texas, I think of somebody that looks like you. And that's a compliment.
I took it as a compliment.
Okay.
There's some safety features on the Ford that can save my life.
I use that sync technology on the steering wheel.
All hands-free.
I can pay attention to the road and the traffic and not have to worry about reaching for things.
I've gotten dependent on that backup camera.
That's a huge safety thing, to back up and be warned that there's something here.
I think they're just good for Texas.
Now get 0% financing plus $3,500 total cash on 2018 Edge and Explorer.
Was it surreal when you did those commercials? Were you nervous?
Actually, I really wasn't. It was surreal. It was so neat to see what goes on, how they make a commercial. And they just pampered me. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was in August. It was like August the 4th or 5th, and triple digits in Texas in August.
Yeah.
And they had air. I was sitting on this porch in this rocking chair in one of the commercials. Air blowing on me, keeping me cool. Everybody else out there in the hot sun on their umbrellas, they're filming and doing their thing. And it was a blast. I really enjoyed it. My wife was there too, and she was taking pictures and taking videos of what goes on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
So
neat to
was
see
it just
that.
a one-day filming?
Oh yeah, we started at 1 o'clock in the morning, and we went 5 o'clock to 5:30 that afternoon. It took that long to record 4 30-second commercials.
Did you notice anything about the commercial industry behind the scenes that you didn't really notice?
I didn't know it took that many people to make 30-second commercials. I didn't look like they were making a movie. There were so many people. I mean, there was guys going back and forth and cameras and sound guys and carrying all their things. And there was probably, I would say, 100+ people out there running around doing this thing.
Right.
And then they had, the lighting. They turned the lights on you, and then you had a trailer you went into, and they set you up. They put the makeup on you, and they picked out a shirt for me to put on, and all this kind of thing. They kind of dress you up in the wardrobe. And that director, I mean, he was just, I'd hate to work for that man. He would get, I wanted this 10 minutes ago. But he turned around and treated me like I was Kevin Costner. This everything. And I even made jokes after we do it. He goes, cut, that's a tape. And I'd say, I'm going back to my trailer, get me a latte. I just had a blast. I joked, cut up with a lot of them there. And they called on the radio that they were taking us to lunch. We were going to take a 30, 45-minute lunch break. And I was on a golf cart. And I said, where's my wife? Find Miss Rhoades' wife. Find her wife. Get a golf cart. Get her now. And they zipped over, and she's, Miss Rhoades, yeah, she got it. Follow me, come on in. And just a banquet. I mean, there was so much food.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
well, I kind of had a similar experience, not in a professional manner, but when I was overseas in Dubai, they actually had a New York Film Academy there where students were going to learn to participate in the film industry. And so they always looked for actors and actresses to play in their films, their student films. So,
oh yeah.
Hell, when I was there, I was there for 8 years, and I probably did 10, 15 films where I was just some of the movies I was like the lead actor. Other movies I was just like a
character actor.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of the things that you talked about where didn't realize how many people were involved in filming, and that's what I learned. Now, I didn't have the big brunches and food and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, it's kind of nice. I enjoyed it. I wish that I might have been able to do it in a professional manner, but oh well, I got to do it, and it was enjoyable. But back to your Ford commercials. When did they actually start on TV?
We filmed them all in August of 2017. In January of 2018, they came out and they ran them from like January till May.
Okay.
Different ones. I would see one commercial on all the stations repeatedly. Lots of folks would tell me, "Hey, I was watching TV and it sounded like your voice. It looked like, was that you?" Yeah.
I was going to ask you if people started recognizing you or your voice.
A lot of phone calls, emails, text messages. Yeah, that went on for several months.
I'll bet.
My 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah. What was your family's reaction?
Oh, they were tickled to death. My dad actually goes, "How do you keep getting all these gigs?" I did a little deal for a Wheel of Fortune. They called me back, did interviews and all that. But my wife got on to me after she goes, "You weren't doing a job interview. You were supposed to be yourself." And, I was just too matter of fact. And they didn't pick me for it, which I'm going to try to do it again. But I actually got past those steps, where a lot of people don't. My dad's been trying to do it for years, and he's never got a phone call back. And he goes, "And they called you back, did an interview." Well, yeah, it was fun, but I didn't make it on. I didn't get to go to California and be on TV.
Did that experience making the commercials, did that change your confidence level?
It did. It really did. Any doubt just kind of went, because we're always our own worst enemies in a lot of ways. You start thinking negative, and I was like, this was really good. And like I said, the 15 minutes of fame was nice too. I got a lot of adulation, from a lot of folks, and I appreciated that. And
yeah,
it did.
Did you ever think that, man, maybe I should have gone into entertainment?
No, not really.
No.
I really enjoy the auction business. I always have. It's my life. I really love it. And don't get me wrong. I enjoy those commercials. I enjoyed doing stand up at the comedy club years ago, and it was fun. I was more nervous at the comedy club than I was anywhere else. You get up there and you go, "What if they don't think I'm funny?"
Yeah.
And I just got up there and I had maybe 6 or 8 jokes, and the rest of it, just whatever popped on top of my head. They had an improv, and they asked me to step in, and they had a guy that was out. It was me and 3 other people. And I had a blast, just off the bat. Just stuff started just rolling out, and people were just laughing so hard. Oh, and you just get goosebumps. You're like, man, I did it. Same way with voices and stuff. I go kind of act like like Jimmy Stewart for a minute. Kind of use the voice and something. So get them laughing, especially when they have a little alcohol in them too. That always seems to help.
Yeah.
Or you can turn that up a little bit with a Cockney accent and be James Bond, 007.
Yeah.
Or a lot of young ones wouldn't know him, but they would know that Southern twang. Hi, who's your daddy? Love you, baby. That's kind of stuff where you just cut up and have fun. And that's what, it's not like that was the job. And if you got the adulation and the applause, and then you felt like, I took the mindset of, this is not a crowd of strangers. Act like this is 6 of your buddies, and you're hanging on the back of somebody's tailgate on a pickup, and you're drinking a cold beer and cutting up and making jokes.
Yeah.
It just put me in that mindset where it went a lot smoother.
Yeah. You also play guitar, drums, keyboard, harmonica. That's a lot of talent. Which instrument came first?
The guitar. My dad played the guitar, taught me. He used to play in bands back when he was in high school, and then after he got out a little bit, played a little.
Okay.
Nice. But yeah, I like all the instruments, but it's kind of like jack of all trades but master of none. I'm not the best, but I can get in there and I can read some music. I can listen.
Yeah,
and that's what I love about rhythm guitar. You just kind of go along with the drummer and the bass guitar. And you all getting in sync. And I guess to me it's pretty easy. Other people, I'm sure they go, no, it's not, but it just came easy with me. Lord bless me.
What kind of music do you love the most?
I like a little bit of everything, except rap and but country would be country. Some of the rock.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I can jump George Strait to Van Halen.
Yeah.
Uh, there's
I'm a classic rock fan myself,
classic rock. Oh yes,
from the 60s and 70s, and that's my sweet spot right there. Um,
absolutely.
who are your biggest influences growing up as far as music?
Besides my father, teacher with the guitar, it would probably I really like Stevie Ray Vaughan,
Oh yeah.
Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, and then on the rock end of it, Van Halen, and then later on as Def Leppard and some of the others that came into play. A lot of them I went to see the Scorpions, Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
They were awesome. Rat, Rush,
I love Rush.
2112 tour and Moving Pictures tour. I went and saw them both in San Antonio and right up front. Same way with Judas Priest. I saw them Ted Nugent.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now you're talking, Mike.
Yeah. I mean, I can jump in that and I go right. And I like the old, even Hank Williams. I love Hank Williams Jr., but his dad. I can go and listen to his stuff. I mean, I can go that far back and just.
Yeah, my father was a big country fan, so I listened to a lot of the older country from like back in the
that time.
70s. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Johnny Cash, that genre. I love Johnny Cash. I thought he was awesome. That's the kind of stuff I remember. You also mentioned that you write some songs. So what inspires you when you're writing songs?
Mainly, it would have to, it can be a death in the family. I wrote a song called Mama, and totally different from Ozzy's Mama, I'm Coming Home. But a lot of it is emotion, a lot of it, something going on in the world, something traumatic happened in your community, or something wonderful happened, birth of a child, or a beautiful the first day of spring, and as you walk out and you just smell that fresh air, and you just start sitting down and think about how you could formulate that into a song.
Right. What's one song you wish you had written?
Oh, quite a few. Especially it would, probably Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain.
Blue Eyes Crying in the
That'd
Rain.
be a great one. I like the one I thought I wish I'd wrote was by Waylon Jennings, Lonesome, Ornery, and Mean. Awesome song. Awesome song. A few of those I wish I'd written.
Yeah.
I mean, sold it to Waylon or Willie and ching ching.
Oh yeah. So do you think modern country music has changed for better or for worse?
I'll kind of go pivot both ways. It's for worse in some ways because they're wanting to be rapping cowboys and that stuff, and I just no. But then again, too, I mean, you do have your some of the guys that are moving up. Aldine is great. Chris Stapleton's great. I mean, some of them still got a little bit of new country, but old country.
Right. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Chris Stapleton. Man, he's just got the voice. Man.
Oh, God, yes, he does.
I'm telling you. And he can sing anything.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him do a duet with, what was her name? The lady, it was back in the 90s. The song was You Don't Even Know Who I Am. I think that was something McBride. I remember it. I can't remember. But he did a duet. Yeah. He did a duet with her recently that I saw on YouTube.
Oh.
The lady, she sang it by herself originally back in the 90s. But they made a duet, and man, he just killed it.
Phenomenal, huh? Wow.
Yeah, and I also remember when he did the Star Spangled Banner. When he sang that, I don't know if it was the Super Bowl or something. I forget. It was one of those big things, but man, he knocked that out of the park too.
Oh,
He
wow.
did an amazing rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. Just an
Yeah,
amazing.
I was kind of doing a little insight on him. I noticed that he was more or less following his wife, trying to get his wife to be the big star.
Yeah,
And he was putting his stuff out, and then they just leaned toward her. He almost said to her, and bless her heart, but at least she said, "Hey, it's all going in the same account."
yeah, and her voice, man, she is an awesome backup singer. She is like the
Oh, she's
perfect
yeah,
backup
great
singer
voice.
for Chris. So yeah, she's got nothing to be sad about. She's an awesome singer in herself.
Oh, she sure is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw another video. I like to watch a lot of videos. I saw another video where he did a duet with Justin Timberlake, and they sang what was that song? Strawberry Wine. What's the name of the song?
What was it? Strawberry wine?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He and Justin Timberlake did a duet of that, and man, that's amazing. He does a lot of like cross genre things where he plays with all kinds of people from different genres, and he can keep up with all of them. I mean, he's just an amazing singer. I would love to see him in person.
You talk about duet. I'm thinking old school. I'm thinking George Jones and Tammy Wynette.
Man,
Wasn't that a blast?
oh yeah, yep.
There's some good stuff. Good stuff.
I went down a rabbit hole. Just a matter of fact, the other day, the George Jones classic. He stopped loving her today. That's a classic right there, and that's the kind of music that I grew up on with my father. You
Yeah,
know,
I did too.
that classic '60s and '70s country music, which is a little different from today.
Yeah,
Um,
I could borrow a headband and then go listen to Santana or any of these rock bands at the same time. Put my cowboy hat on and fit right in with
yeah,
George Strait and with Johnny Cash and the rest of them. I just got a heart for each type of it. And I really enjoy. I've got a genre of different musics.
I saw when I was over in Dubai. I got the opportunity to see Santana, and he was amazing. I mean, he's getting up there in age, but he's another one of those guitarists that, man, he can just blow it away.
Oh, he's really good at what he does for sure.
And yeah, it's hard to believe that he's one of the few remaining artists that were at Woodstock.
Going, yeah.
Yeah,
Those are funny.
there's not too many artists around that played at Woodstock.
Yeah.
So, have you ever played local venues around Canyon Lake or the Hill Country?
Not so much around here. A few years before we moved out of New Braunfels, there was a place on Tuesday night called the Pour House, the Pour, not Por, the Pour, where they pour you a beer. And you come in there, it's kind of a amateur night type thing. And you just go up there and you sign a sheet, and when it's your turn, they call you up, and then you go up there and you play. And I do that on Tuesday nights, and I played. That's how I was able to get about 5 or 6 of my songs out there for people to hear. And then after I was done, I go, what was your opinion? And be honest, and I got a lot of good feedback on it, and that helped me a little bit. Then back in the '90s, we hit some of the little smaller clubs in Austin, that kind of stuff. But it was more of the rock stuff where I didn't. I enjoyed it, and it made some beer money. If you walked out of there with $100 in your pocket, you felt like you'd really done something.
So, you moved to the Spring Branch Canyon Lake area in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
What stood out to you about this area, and what made you choose this area?
Well, actually, my wife found the place we're at now, and we wanted to get out of the country because the New Braunfels were getting so crowded, and their taxes were going out of the roof. And we found this place, and I don't know, and we kind of go through some of the areas a little rough, and then when we come up onto it, yep, this is it. And I could imagine, okay, I'm going to do this over here with that, and put that up, I'm going to put 8-foot privacy fence all the way around it. I'm going to do, and I started just picturing in my mind what we were going to do to the place. And so we called our realtor, and we made an offer, and boom, bought it just a week or two later. And
Yeah.
I love the area. I mean, just the place is, the people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's country.
Oh yeah, I love the area too. My last job as a defense contractor was at Lackland in San Antonio. So we lived in San Antonio for probably 4 years. Yeah, it was about 4 years. And we bought a house, and we were kind of happy, but then we started coming out here to Canyon Lake and just fell in love with the area, to be honest with you. Not just the recreational area, but just the country, laid back lifestyle.
Exactly what I
So,
was going to say too. You're right.
yeah, so we planned on just waiting until I retire and then move out here, but we got tired of San Antonio, so
I can imagine.
we moved about 4 years ahead of schedule.
Oh.
And so I commuted back and forth between San Antonio and Canyon Lake for, oh, it was about 3 years, I guess. But yeah, we fell in love with the place. We're very happy here, and
It's laid back, like you said. It's kind of laid back. Before we moved to New Buffalo, we lived on North Padre Island.
okay.
We've been there about 2.5 years, and when they say you're on island time, you're on island time. You need a plumber or electrician. You call them on Monday. You might see them Thursday afternoon or Friday. The same day or the next day. But
Yep.
that's fine. It was okay. It was laid back. It was really nice, and it was just too expensive to live on an island. I mean, our taxes and insurance was $20,000 a year without making one penny on principal. And I think the good Lord told us to get out of there because we left. I guess it was August the 1st. We moved to New Braunfels, and August 16th, that's when the hurricane hit the island and just totally destroyed it.
Oh wow.
I mean, got
We
out.
got out of there just in time. So, what do you think makes this community unique? This area?
Like you said, the laid back, easygoing people are the friendly folks. I mean, I was amazed. I'm used to a lot of other places that you walk in and no one will even look at you. People, turn and have a quick conversation with you, visit a little bit, talk to you, get to know you. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's one thing we noticed too. Was in San Antonio, we lived in the same neighborhood for 4 years, and we didn't know any of our neighbors. We might have said hi to them every now and then. We didn't even know any of them. But here in Canyon Lake, we live in a small community, but we know all of our neighbors. We take care of
Exactly.
each other. We share food. When somebody's sick, we make sure they're taken care of. It's that community that I love. And I'm not from Texas, but I love the Texas lifestyle. I love the small town Texas lifestyle. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
a lot of it. A lot of these folks that are not from Texas,
Yeah.
and a lot of them more or less just got them a place here, and they would travel back and forth and that kind of stuff. Where now that they're getting up in age, they've kind of sold their places here and they're here. So we check on them. We take care of our neighbors. We'll have a little get together like on a Saturday afternoon, and everybody show up. And, we'll have one of the neighbors has a big old pit, and he'll throw briskets and stuff on there, and sausage and hamburgers or whatever it is, and everybody bring an ice chest with cokes and cold beer and whatever else we might want to have, and just sit down and visit. And it's just I like it.
I think that small town vibe is very prominent here in Texas. No matter where you go, if you're living in a small town, you're gonna have those same experiences. And that's what
Most of the state.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I mean, I grew up in Ohio and then traveled around the world for the last 45 years. Yeah, we fell in love with Texas, and we fell in love with the Canyon Lake area. I tell my wife all the time, unless I win the lottery, this is where I'm gonna stay for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I think even if I won the lottery, I'm staying right here. That's how much I enjoy it.
I'd stay in Canyon Lake, but I'd probably build a bigger house. And
Well, there you go. Yeah, we got a little extra cash now. We can do a few improvements.
get a little closer to the lake. I mean, I'm about a mile away from it now, but hell, if I won the lottery, I'd buy one right on the lake.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you think the area is growing too fast?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, with Lennar putting in all these houses, especially on 306 and 281, and it's like, no, slow down.
Yeah.
Easy.
They're talking about 3 huge subdivisions going up in this area where like 2,400 new houses.
And we're already complaining about water usage. It's like,
Yeah, I mean,
you're stage 4. You cannot water it all outside. Oh, we're building 2,400 more homes.
yeah.
Ding.
I hope they do it in a sensible way. I mean, there's always going to be growth, but you just need to do it sensible.
Yeah.
I was talking to a guy from Canyon Lake, and he's really picked up the sword for water with the Canyon Lake, the cleanliness of it, plus, water usage and things like that. I interviewed him a few weeks ago, and yeah, we have a lot to be concerned about over the next few years, especially Guadalupe River and the Canyon Lake, the watershed, where we do need to be concerned about it a lot.
Yeah. Gotta have water.
Yeah. What do outsiders misunderstand about people around this area, around, the hill country?
Oh, well, a lot of it, they don't know the advantages of us being small groups and small town, the small town mentality. They think, we're just a bunch of dumbass hicks or hillbillies or that type of thing. It's like, no, it's.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What do you think keeps small communities strong in America?
It's having love and respect for your neighbors, and and making sure that God's involved in there, and having.
You're right.
Just always just look. What can I do for my neighbor? Not what can they do for me.
Yeah, and the way I see it, and I'm honest, I don't have the same politics as everybody in my neighborhood, but I don't care. Politics doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
If the man across the street, if he's sick and he's in the hospital, I'm going to make sure his wife and his kids and everything else are taken care of. And
Absolutely.
it doesn't matter. We put differences aside, and that's what we need to get back to in this country, I believe.
Absolutely. Yeah. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter. First of all, if you disagree with it, what are you going to change? You're not going to change anything up in Washington D.C. You're getting mad at each other about your thoughts or your beliefs or your ideas. So just say, hey, I agree to disagree, and let's get along. Let's
go have a beer. What's your perfect hill country, Canyon Lake, Spring Branch day?
Oh, let's get the pontoon boat, go anchor it out in Canyon Lake, and get you a floaty and float in the water and drink you a Shiner Bock beer, and then just enjoy the sunshine and the cool water.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's nothing better than that. My grandson, who lives with us, he works at the Cranes Mill Marina. He can get a boat like once a week. He can get a free boat for like 4 hours. And we go out on the marina quite a bit. As a matter of fact, we bought a houseboat that's anchored at the Cranes Mill Marina. It's not seaworthy yet. I mean, it floats, but
that's the main thing.
It's got a little work to do, but it's kind of turned into my grandson's little party cove, and
yeah,
he goes over there with his friends, and they have barbecues and drink beer, and we go over there occasionally too. But yeah, I mean, we love it. We love this area. So your perfect day is like mine.
Mm-hmm.
What is the best local hidden gem of hill country?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably Jacob's Well. A lot of folks don't know about it, especially back in the heyday when we had enough water in there where it was really neat. As far as a building in a hidden gem, I kind of like Max's Roadhouse. You can go there and then get you a great burger, a ice cold beer, and play some pool, listen to some really good music. And from what times I've been in there, you're not waiting for a table or anything. You got a place to go. It's kind of nice where you can just go in there, and they're super friendly. I mean, all folks.
Max's Roadhouse?
Uh-huh.
Where's that located?
It's on Highway 281. If you're headed towards San Antonio, it'll be on your right-hand side. I think it's out there by that collision center where they fix the cars on the right. They're just a little bit north of the collision center on the same side of the highway. Neat little place, huh? We enjoy it.
We'll have to try that because, man, I miss a good burger. We had a good burger place in San Antonio that we used to go to called Bobby J's, and it closed down during COVID, and man, we missed that.
Oh.
So We go to Beefy's every now and then. I'm sure you know where that is. Yeah. That's a pretty nice place, but yeah, I'm going to write
Good
that down.
folks.
Max's Roadhouse.
Yeah, just a little further down. Salmon was a good little place to stop for Mexican food. We had some fajitas and an ice cold margarita there, and it was good.
Awesome. All right. So, if you were in charge of Canyon Lake for one day, what would you change immediately?
No pulling any water out of Canyon Lake. Just dumping any type of sewage into Canyon Lake. That would not go over either.
Yeah, that's when I was talking to that guy. His name is Brent Wewell. He was talking about it's not just Canyon Lake either. It's the Guadalupe. There are pipes sucking water out of the Guadalupe all over the place, and pipes sucking water out of Canyon Lake, and then they're dumping treated sewer water into the lake and into the river, and
No excuse for that.
no, it's terrible. That's one of the biggest holdups of those subdivisions that were talking about building 2,400 new homes. They were wanting to build treatment plants and then just pump the water out into these tributaries of the Guadalupe and Canyon Lake. It may be all right when there's no flood, but if there's a flood, where's that water going to go? It's going to go right into Guadalupe. It's going to go right into Canyon Lake.
Mm-hmm. No.
Water is a big thing. Yeah. I just hope we do the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I do too. I pray.
All right. Let's change gears a little bit. You mentioned loving God, country, and supporting President Trump. And there's so much division in this country right now.
Oh, yeah.
From your perspective, what do you think is driving this division in our country today?
Well, I'm not trying to name any names, but that far left keeps stirring the pot. Then, of course, you got your mainstream media that SP. What is that group that they're supposed to fight hate, and they actually found out they were paying the Nazis and the KKK to go march and give them money. I mean, people like that. It's just they keep you stirring up. They want you to think that racism is the biggest problem and white supremacy is the biggest problem. It's not. It's not. I look at our neighbors, Black and Hispanic and Asian friends, and we all come together. We don't look at color. We look at each other. Hey, my brother and my sister, we get along fine. And there's no animosity whatsoever because of the color of our skin. And they keep it going on because it's profitable. It's newsworthy. Keeps them making money.
Well, and I agree with you. I think our news media has turned into a for-profit business more than it's been an informative news source.
Yes. If they would just report the news, that'd be fine, but they want to spin everything. And I don't want to hear your opinion. Just report the news. Let's move on.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Do you think regular Americans actually have more in common than it seems?
Oh, sure, we all do. We all want to make a living. We all want to get along. We want to take care of our families. The majority of us, we love God. We love our country. We love our neighborhoods. We love our family.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot more good people out there than are bad. That small bunch of rotten apples, if we could just sweep them out of here, I mean, it would be utopia. Be close to it anyway.
I think you hit the nail on the head right there. We've got the mainstream news media, we've got social media agitators that they try to cause trouble. They look for causes to get people all riled up against each other.
Oh yeah, I mean you're going to tune in if there's a bad story or a tragic story, but they say everything's all good and sunshine and butterflies and
yeah.
No, I don't hear that. You know, as Don said, everybody wants dirty laundry.
Yeah. Of course, we're not perfect, but we got a lot of good things going on and a lot of things happening. I just hope we can get back to is just like, hey man, I don't care who you voted for. Let's go have a beer. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
You also said you believe America as a whole is not racist, and I agree.
Yeah.
Why do you think that conversation gets so heated?
Oh, because you've got those groups again. You've got your social media putting all the trash out. There's a bunch of lies, along with the mass media bringing up things. I mean, the first thing that even our ex-president Joe Biden said, one of the worst things about the United States is white supremacy. And for a president to say something like that is just wrong. It's like you're adding fuel to the fire. You're not trying to help.
Yeah.
Let's all get along. Let's all love each other. Show each other respect.
Yeah. I agree. It's just, it's that select few, and I think all presidents, regardless of what side of the aisle they're on, should really think about what they say and how it affects people, because no matter what, no matter whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, if you are a supporter of Biden, or if you're a supporter of Trump or Obama or Bush or whoever, your followers are gonna take heed to what you say, and you just need to be careful.
I agree with you on that, because a lot of our politicians, I mean, when they're throwing out this rhetoric, well, you got these other people listening to it going, oh my God, he's a Nazi or he's a criminal, or I've got to take him out. And then all of a sudden here comes another assassination attempt. And you're in a position where you need to watch what you say. And if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all.
Exactly. Yep. That was how we grew up, I believe. You and I are about the same age.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's how we grew up.
In our neighborhood, we left the keys in the ignition in the car. We didn't lock our doors at night. I remember growing up.
No. Kids were running around until the street lights came on, and nobody ever bothered us. We hang out all day.
Oh, yeah.
Go home, wake up in the morning, eat breakfast, go outside, do whatever you're doing, and then not see your parents again until bedtime.
Yeah, and we weren't allowed indoors. Like, you get out and play. Now,
we got thirsty, we drank from the hose because we weren't allowed inside.
We drank from the hose. When we lived in town, it was a little different. But when we moved out to the country, we moved to Smithwick, and then we moved out to Marble Falls, a little subdivision called Tobyville. And it was a real country. Well, we had animals. So, I mean, we had sheep and goats and steers and pigs, chickens, turkeys. So I was up at 5 o'clock. Even summer vacation, all the animals didn't take a vacation. They wanted to be fed. So at 5 o'clock every morning, and it was a lot of work, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot of responsibility, and I really enjoyed it. Sometimes you think it's but it was good times.
Yeah. Do you think we've reached a point where people hate the other side so much instead of just disagreeing with them civilly?
Oh gosh, yes. I mean, I'm not trying to, say Democrat Republican thing, but you see when there was supposed to be a peaceful protest and it turns into a riot, and yet you try to stop someone doing it, you're taking my civil rights away from me. But yet, if the other side tries to do something, then they're trying to shut you down. I mean, it's like I've been with some folks. They say, "So, what's your opinion on this?" And I'll let them tell me. I don't interrupt. Well, okay. Well, I don't agree with it, but. And then I said, well, this is what I believe. No. They shut me down. It's like, really? I give you the courtesy of letting you talk and tell your point of view. Why don't you allow me to say, no, they won't, because of that certain type of folks.
Yeah, I'm a strong believer in the right to protest, but peacefully protest.
Peacefully.
Yeah, and respect others. A lot of these protests, like you said, end up being violent, which I never agree with. And we also have the agitators that are from the other side that go to these protests just to agitate the people who are protesting.
Oh, so someone being funded is like when they asked a couple of them, well, should you be at work? This is my work. I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
So you just proved our point.
Yeah, and the sad thing about it is our country was founded upon protest. The Boston Tea Party was the ultimate protest. We got to get back to peaceful protesting and stop this hatred and vitriol that's just terrible. So I'm sorry I get off on tangents every now and then, but I think you and I agree on a lot of things. What role do you believe the news media and social media play in all this?
Oh, they're the main culprits for sure. I mean, I'll watch, and I'm not saying that like Fox or someone, but they'll spin it. I mean, you'll see a ABC or CBS, NBC, and they're spinning. I'm like, that's not what happened. And then you go to Fox and get a different view. I really enjoy watching Newsmax or OAN to get my and Doug and Exile is where I go because he'll tell you on both sides if the Republicans is a knucklehead or a Democrat's a knucklehead. He tells you like he goes, I'm gonna be honest with people. If you don't like it, go find another station to watch and listen to. But I'm going to report something that you're not used to, the truth. And I really do appreciate him doing that too.
Yeah, I do too. I think our news media has just gotten to the point where, it's all about sensationalizing everything that happens and, putting the spin on it. Fox does it, CNN does it, MSNBC, all the, ABCs and NBC, CBS, they all do it anymore. So, it just confuses people because you'll listen to the same story on two different channels and you'll say, okay, well, this happened, but this guy's telling me this is why it happened. This other guy's telling me this is why it happened. And you never get the full truth unless you really dig into it.
Yeah, she was trying to escape in her car is one version. No, she was trying to run over the officer in her car is the other version. So we go.
Exactly. That's a perfect example. Yeah, so yeah, I agree. And social media, I mean, I like being social. I like being able to communicate with my friends and my family on Facebook, Nextdoor. But the problem, in my opinion, with social media is once the social media understands what you like, what you don't like, what your political beliefs are, they start algorithm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Only allows you to see things that you'll like, things that you'll get excited about. They won't show you the things that you'll disagree with and not like. I think that's one of the biggest issues on both sides, to be honest with you, is on social media we'll have one guy who may be left leaning and he'll get stories that agree with his point of view, and then you'll get a guy who's right leaning and he'll get stories from the right point of view, and it'll just cause friction when it's not necessary. Why don't you just tell us the news, like you said? Tell us the news and let us make up our own mind.
Exactly, but they won't. They won't spin it. I mean, you got Jesse Waters telling you his point of view. It's like, I don't want to hear your point of view, Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
And there again, that's why I don't watch Jesse Waters. I mean, I don't want to hear your point of view. I want to watch the news, see what's going on in the world, and then I don't want you, saying anything about anybody, Jews or anything else. I mean, you'll see in the end, they'll spin it, and it's all the Jews' fault.
Yeah.
What?
You just get
it's just
different stories.
Crazy.
It's crazy. So, how do we disagree without hating each other?
There again, let's just sit down and if you want to know, what do you think? What do you believe? What are your ideas on this? And then let them talk. And then you hear mine and not jump down my throat and just say, okay, let's agree to disagree. But you have your right to your opinion, and I have my right to my opinion, and let's go on.
Yeah, civil discourse, being able to have a civil conversation, especially with those that you disagree with.
Absolutely.
I think that is the most important thing that we have is, let's just have civil discourse. So now that we've talked about negative things, let's try to think of some positive things. What gives you hope right now? What are you hopeful about?
Knowing what the Bible has given us to know what our future is going to be, what's in store for us. I mean, we're going to have to go through some really tough stuff to get on that other side, where you do have a new world order. You're back to that utopia of a worldwide Garden of Eden, and there's hope for that. So I have hope in God, and I think that God has placed President Trump in here. Sure, I don't like the way he talks and his language, but he's done a lot of good things. And if people would just stop, I mean, if all these Democrats would stop their I hate Trump issue, and that's it. Whatever, if Trump says I cured cancer, no, I want cancer. Just stop the hatred and say, okay, Mr. Trump, you have done this good for this country, and we appreciate that. And work with him. The hatred, the derangement syndrome that they have is just unbelievable. It's like, come on. And I think I put him here for a reason. I think he's really done some really good things and can continue to do things. Kind of scary where I kind of thought for a moment, are you sure you're not the Antichrist? No, not. I love what he's doing. He's been one of the best presidents in my lifetime. I mean, from the one that really stood out for me from years ago, which I voted for, was Ronald Reagan. Mm-hmm. Him and Trump are about the two. I mean, unless you go all the way back to Abraham Lincoln and George Washington and that far back, but I wasn't born then, so I don't know exactly what they really did and didn't do. I just for history books, because they can change the history and tell you what they, whoever wins the war gets to kind of write in history.
What worries you most about it?
Well, a lot of it. I mean, what's all going around us each and every day. I mean, with like we were talking about earlier, reiterating on the hate just in our country, and how many of the nations have disdain and hatred for the United States. I mean, and then for anyone to want Iran to have that uranium to make a nuclear. You think they've been a bully for 40 some odd years, and you give them that, then either I'm going to blow you up. And of course, if they. Or truly, they said they had enough to make 11 nuclear weapons. One would be on Israel, and 1 or 2 in Europe, and then 4 or 5, I'm sure, would be right here in our backyard. And I wouldn't want that. I'll just, let's just again, just all get along. Let's all turn to God and
yeah. How do we get to where we want to be? That's the question.
Yeah, exactly.
So. You've got grandkids. I've got grandkids. As a matter of fact, I have a great grandchild now. I'm. That gives me old age. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm old enough to have a great grandchild. But I am.
Oh, you have a great grandchild?
I have a great grandchild. Yeah, we started early. I started early. My daughter started early. So yeah, we got a great grandchild.
Oh, we done. Congratulations! I'm just picking on you. I think that's neat. That's awesome.
She's a year and a half now, and I've got grandkids that are in their teens to their late 20s, and my kids are in their 40s. And
that's the same way. I've got grandkids that are, I guess they would probably be from about 8th grade all the way up to freshman or sophomore in college.
Awesome. Yeah. So. Speaking of our grandkids and our great-grandkids, what kind of country do you hope our grandkids inherit?
We figure all of this out and get back to the way things were, in Austin, Texas in the 60s. I lived on the east side over Water Avenue. And there, it was just left the keys in the cars and the doors were unlocked and everything was, and there was white, and there was Hispanic, and there were black, all in our neighborhood, and we all played together. We didn't look at color, Yeah. So you're going to all the civil rights was all going on at that time. Not my neighborhood. We all played together. We all got along together. Matter of fact, when there was a park down there, and people all take their stuff down there and picnic together, and it wasn't like, don't come across this line. Everybody sat at the same table.
Yep.
And that's the way it should be, and I'm hoping that it'll get back to that.
I do too. I really do. I tell people a story of, I grew up in Columbus, Ohio in the mid-'60s. Well, not mid-'60s, early '70s. During the Iranian Revolution and all the problems that were going on. There were a lot of Iranians that were able to come over to America before the revolution shut down, and I grew up with a bunch of Iranians. I mean, they lived in our neighborhood. We played with their kids. We went to their house. That really opened my eyes. Of course, we were in a multicultural areas as well, but it really opened my eyes because that was the first time I'd ever really dealt with Muslims and things like that. And I just come to realize by getting to know my friends, getting to know the kids, getting to know their parents, getting to know their grandparents, is they're just like us. They want the same things we do.
Exactly. Nothing changes but places and faces. We're all
That's
the same.
yeah, that's right. They just want they want to be happy. They want to make a living. They want to take care of their families.
Exactly.
You know, it's all the same thing. So
The whole,
hopefully we can get back to that type of mentality. You know, and if you and I can have anything to do with it, I think we will.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we unite the world and we'll all have a Coke.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or a Shiner Box.
Well, if you're 21,
Yes. Well, if you don't mind, to close things out, I've got some rapid fire questions I like to throw out at you, so you can just give me what comes off the top of your head immediately.
okay?
All right? Sounds good. Favorite Texas food?
Steak.
All right. George Strait or Willie Nelson?
Ooh, George Strait. Just my
That's pretty tough, isn't it? I'd have a tough time answering that one too. What was the best decade for music?
70s.
70s. Yep, I agree. What's one vehicle you wish you owned?
H1 Hummer.
Really?
Yeah.
I drove those for years in the Air Force. I loved it.
Wow.
I was actually looking at Hummers the other day on
That's right.
Facebook Marketplace. What's your favorite small town Texas memory?
Oh, that would have to be when I lived in Marble Falls as a kid, and they built a swimming pool, a public pool there, and all my friends, all that, we'd walk down. It wasn't that. It was rural. Marble Falls was a small town, and way out, you had to walk probably a mile and a half or 2 miles to go to the swimming pool. We didn't care. You know, put on your flip-flops and you had your bathing suit and your towel. And walked all the way to the pool. We'd spend all day at the swimming pool, just me and my buddies, my friends, and get to meet some of the new people moving into the neighborhood. I just remember that. It was just good times.
There you go. There you go. What's one people should do before they die?
Oh, bucket list. You know, make it, whether it be 3 items or 10 items, make you a little bucket list. It's like I went skydiving. I wanted to skydive. So I went to San Marcos and I did the tandem, you know, where they tie you to someone and then worked all summer long and got certified. And the first time you get up in a plane and they open the door and it's just you and a backpack on your back and it's all up to you. That's scary. You talk about adrenaline rush and jump out there and you're falling at 110 miles an hour. And then when you pull that chute and you just thought, oh, and it's just beautiful and it's so surreal. I mean, and it's so quiet. I mean, it you should put that on your bucket list. It was on mine and oh, loved it. Skydiving, parasailing. I mean, just I've made a bucket list, and I've been slowly but surely I'm checking some of them off. And I wanted to go to Jamaica, and I wanted to parasail, and I did. It was a blast.
Yeah. Well, skydiving won't be on mine because I did it when I was in the Air Force.
Sure, you did. Yeah,
I did it for like 16 years on active duty.
you definitely checked off your bucket list.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. You get some interesting experiences doing that. Yeah, kind of.
Some people that haven't even taken a tour of the Capitol in Austin, and that is a
Yeah.
blast. I mean, I'm a big history buff anyway, but that is a fun time. Everyone,
Yeah, that would be on my bucket list. I've never been to the one in Austin.
it is. It's,
We had a pretty awesome Capitol in Columbus, Ohio, but yeah, I'm pretty impressed with what I've seen of the Austin Capitol. So yeah, that's a good idea. What's the best guitar riff ever?
oh wow, that's a tough one. It would probably one of them I can think of is with Stevie Ray Vaughan. There's one that comes to mind is with Eddie Van Halen when Michael Jackson was making that Thriller.
Yeah.
And right in the middle of it, you'll see you're like, I know who that is. And it was so
Yeah. You didn't even have to tell anybody. I mean, you could, unless you were deaf, everybody could figure out that was a. Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. I was a big fan of Jimi Hendrix. I mean, I was a little young because he died in
Yeah, I was
60.
two died in '67, but I'd had watched
But
Howard,
man,
Hey Joe,
some of the stuff that he put out is like, wow.
played the anthem with his teeth at Woodstock.
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
crazy.
Yeah, he's another one that it went way too quick.
Yeah, I mean, we.
Joplin and of course Morris, Jim Morris with the Doors. Morrison, he's another one that they all leave
Yeah,
rope alone.
they're part of that 27 club.
The 27 Club, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
A bunch of great people die when you're 27. What would surprise people most about auctioneers?
Oh, probably because a lot of them are arrogant, think they're rock stars because they get so much attention. They also would be surprised at the money they make. It was back in the '80s where I would work one auction on Monday night, and then my 40-hour week job, I would make just as much, if not a little bit more, working a one night auction. I mean, they make from $150 to $700 an hour, depending on what kind of auction it is. So I mean,
Wow.
good money. Of course, you don't have your insurance and all that taken care of. You take care of that yourself. You don't get W-2, you get 1099.
Yeah, got to pay your taxes.
Pay your taxes. So yeah.
If Hollywood made a movie about your life, who plays you?
Who plays me? Gosh, I don't know. Maybe Kevin Costner. Maybe Johnny Depp. Keanu Reeves. Yeah. All right, dude. 875 9. Love him, John Wick. I hated that he started out with acting so silly with what was it? There's 2 or 3 movies he made with
Bill and Ted's Excellent
Bill and
Adventure.
Ted, Big Adventure type thing. Yeah, I was like, because he's so talented. I mean, John Wick, he's just phenomenal, and I just love it.
Oh yeah, he is just an amazing talent. What were those other series he's in?
Oh, the Matrix.
Yeah, The Matrix. Yeah.
Awesome in that too. Yeah, it took me a little while when he was in that it was a movie where they were surfing and they put all these presidents' masks and rob banks. It was
With Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze. It was a little hard to take him serious as being a detective. I'm a detective, dude. I kept reverting back to that, and I'm like, okay, take that away. So it took enough time that when The Matrix came out, I was able to take him as a serious actor, and it was awesome.
That's true.
All the DVDs.
You got to forget about Bill and Ted if you're gonna keep thinking seriously.
You absolutely do, yeah.
All right, one last one. If you could have dinner with any musician, dead or alive, who would it be?
Dead or alive? Dead, it would have to be Johnny Cash or Waylon Jennings. Alive, Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
Probably, Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
Easy. I like to sit down and listen to him talk. I like the accent of his. It's so rough. And it's weird. I mean, when you listen to him talk and then he got the high pitch way he does. But he's awesome.
Yeah.
I heard him back on tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
Some of these guys are older than us and they're still on tour.
Oh, absolutely. There's still need to kind of give it up. I don't want machine names. Cheap-Trick. And, a few of them, they just kind of got, I was listening to Cheap-Trick back in, the 70s and just loved and now, the song, hello, how are you? There was that high pitch, hello. It was, hello, no. Billy Idol's another one. I love him to death, but it's kind of time.
My wife and I, while we were in UAE, the Stones came to Abu Dhabi and we went and watched them. And it's like, my God, these guys are in their 70s. And Mick Jagger is just walking around being Mick Jagger, with all that energy and everything else. And
it's phenomenal. Yeah.
It's hard to believe, he's probably almost 80 now, but man,
I mean, he in his 70s and running around like he's 25 or 30 years old. And,
I'd be sore if I tried to do some of the stuff that he did.
oh, I do one little deal about halfway through the first song. Oh, my back! We're going to cancel. Bye, people.
Well, Gordon, this has been a great conversation. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your stories, your music background, your thoughts on the country, and your life experiences. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you like, follow, and share and support local voices here in Canyon Lake. That's what this show is all about. Real people, real conversations, no script, and no filter.
Awesome.
This has been Canyon Lake Unfiltered, and we'll see you next time. Gordon, again, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. I enjoyed it.
All right, thank you.